a group of light-eyed officers entered, one of them carrying the shard blade, holding it on a pure white cloth. Behind this group came the 4 surviving members of Kaladin's squad: Hab, Rish, Alabet, and Korab. Kaladin stood up, feeling exhausted. Amaram remained by the door, arms folded, as 2 final men entered and closed the door. These last 2 were also light eyes, but lesser ones, officers in Amaram's personal guard. Had these been among those who had fled?
That was the smart thing to do. Smarter than what I did.
Amaram leaned on his walking staff, inspecting Kaladin with bright, tan eyes. He'd been in conference with his counselors for several hours now, trying to discover who the Shardbearer had been.
You did a brave thing today, soldier.
Thank you.
Everyone else fled, including my honor guard. But you charged in for the attack. Why?
I didn't really think about it, sir.
Your name is Kaladin, is it?
Yes, Bright Lord. From Hearthstone, remember?
Amaram frowned, looking confused.
Your cousin Rashan is city lord there. He sent my brother into the army when you came recruiting. I joined with my brother.
Ah, yes, I believe I remember you. You still haven't answered my question. Why attack? It wasn't for the shard blade. You rejected that.
Yes, sir.
To the side, the Storm Warden raised his eyebrows as if he hadn't believed that Kaladin had turned down the shards. The soldier holding the shard plate kept glancing at it in awe.
Why? Why did you reject it? I have to know.
I don't want it, sir.
Yes, but why?
Because it would make me one of you. Because I can't look at that weapon and not see the faces of the men its wielder slaughtered so offhandedly. Because... I can't really answer that, sir. Look, those shards are mine. Well, I said to give them to Korab. He's the highest ranked of my soldiers and the best fighter among them.
The other 3 would understand. Besides, Korab would take care of them once he was a Light Eyes. Amaram looked at Korab, then nodded to his attendants. One closed the window shutters, the others pulled out swords, then began moving toward the 4 remaining members of Kaladin's squad.
No!
Kaladin leaped forward, but 2 of the officers had positioned themselves close to him. One slammed a punch into Kaladin's gut as soon as he started moving.
No!
He fought off the pain, turning to swing at the man. The man's eyes opened wide as Kaladin's fist connected. Several other men piled on. He had no weapons, and he was so tired from the battle that he could barely stay upright. They knocked him to the ground with punches to his side and back. He collapsed to the floor, pained, but still able to watch as the soldiers came at his men. Rish was cut down first.
This can't happen.
Hab and Alabet had their knives out, but fell quickly, one soldier gutting Hab as 2 others hacked down Alabet. Korab lasted the longest. Backing away, hands held forward, he didn't scream. He seemed to understand. Kaladin's eyes were watering, and soldiers grabbed him from behind, stopping him from helping. Korab fell to his knees.
Please, I beg of you, don't... You bastard! You storming bastard!
Stormfather, all of them are dead.
Amaram stepped forward, expression grim. He went down on one knee before Kaladin.
I'm sorry.
Bastard!
I couldn't risk them telling what they saw. This is what must be, soldier. It's for the good of the army. They're going to be told that your squad helped the Shardbearer. You see, the men must believe that I killed him.
You're taking the shards for yourself?
I am trained in the sword and am accustomed to plate. It will serve Alethkar best if I bear the shards.
You could have asked me for them. Storm you!
And when news got around camp that you'd killed the Shardbearer but I had the shards, nobody would believe that you'd given them up for your own free choice. Besides, son, you wouldn't have let me keep them. You'd have changed your mind. In a day or 2, you'd have wanted the wealth and prestige. Others would convince you of it. You'd have demanded that I return them to you. It took hours to decide, but Restoris is right. This is what must be done. For the good of Alethkar.
It's not about Alethkar. It's about you! Storm it! You're supposed to be better than the others!
Amaram looked guilty suddenly, as if he knew what Kaladin had said was true. He turned away, waving to the Storm Warden. The man turned from the brazier, holding something he'd been heating in the coals. A small branding iron.
It's all an act? The honorable Bright Lord who cares about his men? Lies? All of it?
This is for my men.
Amaram took the shard blade from the cloth, holding it in his hand. The gemstone at its pommel let out a flash of white light.
You can't begin to understand the weights I carry, spearman. I can't worry about the lives of a few dark-eyed spearmen when thousands of people may be saved by my decision.
The Storm Warden stepped up to Kaladin, positioning the branding iron. The glyphs reversed read Sas Nam, a slave's brand.
You came for me. For saving my life, I spare yours. 5 men telling the same story would have been believed, but a single slave will be ignored. The war camp will be told that you didn't try to help your fellows, but you didn't try to stop them either. You fled and were captured by my guard.
Amaram hesitated by the door, resting the blunt edge of the stolen shard blade on his shoulder. The guilt still shone in his eyes, but he grew hard, covering it.
You are being discharged as a deserter and branded as a slave, but you are spared death by my mercy.
He opened the door and walked out. The branding iron fell, searing Kaladin's fate into his skin.